Welcome into the last Friday Night Fever of the 2021 season, and what a season it was. We featured some great teams, great athletes, and great performances all season long, and that has led us to this point, the North Half Championships. 6 area teams competed tonight for a shot at a state championship in Hattiesburg next week. TCPS, West Lowndes, Amory, Caledonia, West Point, and Stark Vegas all in the running. And speaking of Stark Vegas, Rhea, she's there right now, standing by with a report on the Starkville game. Much drier than last night in Starkville, but maybe a little colder out there. Yikes, it was chilly. It was chilly. So let's heat things up with our game of the week, Caledonia and Senatobia in the 4A. Only one loss on the season for the Cavaliers, and they beat 4A defending champion Louisville last week, and they pulled out all the stops tonight. They helicoptered in the game ball, and who did they hand it off to? Former Pittsburgh Steeler and Caledonia Cavalier Desmond Sherrod, who was on hand to watch his alma mater play in the school's first North Half Championship. And Caledonia got off to a fast start. Daniel Wilburn faked the handoff and found some running room down the sidelines, off to the races, tripped up inside the 10-yard line. And Desmond's like, oh yeah, that dude fast, he's good. And he liked this too. Curtavis Johnson for just over a yard out. Barreled into the end zone, giving the Cavaliers a early 6-0 lead. Extra point was no good. Senatobia now knocking on the door, and look at this hit by Kewan Wyatt. Oh yeah! Some WWE Friday Night SmackDown on that one. I love me some big hits. On 4th down, Senatobia going for the end zone on this play. Referee picked a great place to stand on that one. Thanks, ref. Braden Walters got up to make the interception and kept the Warriors off the board. Caledonia punted the next drive. Senatobia back on offense, trying to make a play. Will Donald flying in from his linebacker position, and he gave the camera a little silly. We love that out of you, Willie D. That a boy. Next Cavalier drive is Curtavis Johnson again from a yard out to put the Cavaliers up 13-0 midway through the second quarter. However, Senatobia did not lie down. They came back, and with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they scored the go-ahead touchdown, and Caledonia couldn't answer. The Warriors continue their improbable run with a 34-27 win. Tip of the cap to the Cavaliers. What a run. These seniors certainly made their mark on Caledonia history. All right, let's go to West Lowndes. The Panthers looking to advance to the 1A state championship against Bay Springs, and Bay Springs pretty good. It looked promising early though in the second quarter with the score tied at 0. West Lowndes, oh, that's a muffed punt, but he recovered it and then fumbled again. West Lowndes recovered, very advanced into the Bay Springs area, but after marching down the field, the Panthers looked for a deep ball, trying to get into the end zone. Well, great camera work there by Rhea. Shout out to Rhea Thornton on that camera work. Love when you get the ball in the sky. But incomplete 3 times in a row. This game was 0-0 for a long time, but then Bay Springs, they turned it up to about 20 out of a 10 scale, and they beat West Lowndes 44-6. They advanced to the 1A state championship. Amory on the hunt for its first state championship since 1998, but they'd have to get through North Panola. The Panthers and the Cougars, both teams with great fan turnouts, and there are the Cougars. Q Walls took the snap and launched it quickly out to Jalen Rudd, who caught it, straddled the sideline for 6 points. And then he got a little silly there. Yep, the referee holding a stick in his hands for the touchdown. But hey, 8-0 North Panola in the first quarter. Amory responded. Jatavian Ware with the QB keeper got in for a quick score. No straddling, no spin moves, just good old-fashioned smash mouth football. 8-7 at that point. On 4th down here, Amory had to punt. Normal so far. Oops, that's a fumble. Amory recovers, just a free 30 yards right there. Amory on offense trying to take advantage of the turnover. Ware looked right, looked left, then threw the ball deep, but it was picked off by Tony Davis. Took it back a few yards. That play actually ended the half Amory was losing at that point. They go on to win 29-16. We'll see you in Hattiesburg, baby. Big win for the Amory Panthers. Let's go now to TCPS. The Eagles hosted Simmons. First ever North Half Championship appearance for TCPS. The smoke machine was out. The hype train was rolling. The Eagles were ready for this one. Coach Holliday and his staff looking forward to the matchup with Simmons. And here we are. Simmons on offense and a great defensive play by Dossett. Hayes Dossett. What a tackle right there by big number 14. Next play, Simmons with another jet sweep to the other side, and TCPS is also onto their tricks. Manuel Randall this time with a huge stop for the Eagles. But then the Simmons coach was like, okay, let's make a little adjustment. Simmons going to the air on this one, 25-yard touchdown pass to Chartavian Bethany. That put Simmons up 6-0. Two-point conversion was good, 8-0. Next series, Devontae Rush hands off to Vontrez Rush, and that's a rushing touchdown. A whole bunch of rushing in that scenario. TCPS trying to answer. Jake Prather dropped back to pass and was sacked by Vontrez Rush. So Vontrez Rush had a rushing touchdown, or handed off a rushing touchdown, and then he had a great pass rush. A lot of rushing going on. And there he is again, Vontrez Rush, 20-yard touchdown. Simmons undefeated this year, and they stay that way, 48-0. And now it is time for the very last, but certainly not the least, Band of the Week. More highlights after the break.
The Friday Night Fever Band of the Week is sponsored by Northeast Mississippi Community College. The Friday Night Fever Cheer Squad of the Week is sponsored by Magnolia Soap and Bath Company.
And we're back. Rhea Thornton joins us now from Stark Vegas, where the Yellow Jackets tried to get back to a state championship for the first time since 2017. Rhea, what went down?
Matt, tonight was potentially the biggest test for the Starkville Yellow Jackets in their season so far, as they took on Madison Central for the second time this season. The first being a tight matchup going until the very end, but this one, not so much. At halftime, Madison Central led 16-7, and the Jaguars pounced on the Jackets in the second half. After a safety from a holding call on Starkville in the end zone, Madison Central added a few more points to their lead with his handoff to DeAndre Pullen. A huge hole in the Jackets defense. He scored nearly untouched. This made it 24-7 Jaguars. But the Jackets did not give up without a fight. I mean, just look at this determination from Trey Petty, staying on his feet, then making the throw to Jaquavian Jenkins, who broke a tackle to get the touchdown for Starkville, making it 31-13 with 10 minutes left in the game. But that deficit was just too much for the Jackets to come back from, and Madison Central got the win in Starkville tonight, 34-13. This loss takes Starkville out of the running for that state championship that Matt was talking about, but they did end the season 12-2. Reporting live in Starkville for Friday Night Fever, Rhea Thornton, WTVA 9 Sports.
All right, thanks, Rhea. Undefeated West Point faced off against undefeated Neshoba Central, and something had to give. Something had to give. And the atmosphere in West Point was electric. Here's West Point on offense. Cameron Young passed it out to Amari Cox, and he picked up a nice little gain. Ooh, almost broke that one. Nice little tackle right there. West Point up 14-0 at that point, but Eli Anderson, the quarterback for Neshoba, said, how about we cut that lead in half? He scampered into the end zone for the score. That was 14-7 at that point. If you're a high school football fan in Mississippi, I believe you know this story. West Point held off the upset-minded Rockets from Philadelphia 20-14. The Green Wave won their 6th straight North Half championship. and will go for their 5th state championship in 6 years next Saturday in Hattiesburg against Picayune. And remember, tomorrow, this will also be the last time, second to last time? Second to last time. The voting will open for Giant of the Week. 4 players nominated, 1 shall win. So, we went into tonight with 6 teams vying for a spot in the state championship. We leave with 2. Amory and West Point, congratulations. We will see you down in Hattiesburg next week. As for you and me, thank you so much for hanging out with us this season. We had a heck of a time giving you guys the highlights. Shout out to Ethan Foster, Raphael, Rhea, Maddie, all the people that work behind the scenes that provide this service. Have a great weekend.